need several. We need more than several.
Yes.
We need a bunch.
Okay.
This is what I told Sam.
Okay, it's time to start. Everybody will have a seat. The most important announcement I must make this morning is please turn off all cell phones. Please turn off all cell phones. If you don't know how to do it, call your grandchild. Okay. I have heard from Sharon Schachter this week, and she says she is getting better. So that is good news for us. Let's observe a moment of silence, please. Amen. Okay, I call the meeting to order. Madam Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay. The minutes of our last meeting of August the 14th. Anybody have any changes or corrections or additions? If not, they will stand approved as they were distributed to you. Treasurer's report. Marie?
Good morning. Hope you're having a good day. We started out the month with $85,629. We had income for EAF of $21,855. Chorus, $300 in memory of Joe Alice. Memorial Leaf, $50, and interest of $106. I paid for woodshop. Actually, it was for the cost of some framing for $75.91, leaving us a balance of $107,864. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, well, enjoy the weather.
Well, thank you, Marie. Scott, for the Executive Director report.
Good morning, everyone. It's a somber day. Don't know what to say. It's just pray for our world. So that's all I'll say for now. So, hiring updates. So we have filled the open culinary supervisor position that was vacated by Eddie when he was promoted. Joining Melissa as supervisor will be Carla Yebra. Carla has been a part-time server with us for 4 years while having another part-time job, and will soon be getting her bachelor's degree from UNG. She's very excited about coming on board full-time with us and helping our culinary department to continue to move forward. We're excited to have her experienced with us, and will work really well with Eddie and Melissa, so we're excited about that. Tammy has been interviewing for our Director of Assisted Living position, and I'm optimistic we will fill this role soon, your favorite word. It has been open since September 3rd, and we started looking immediately after being given notice by Paige, the former Director of Assisted Living. So I think an offer should be going out this week, and hopefully we'll fill that position very soon. The Ask the Director meeting took place this past Tuesday, so be on the lookout for the notes, the report that I put together. And as I said in our meeting, in-person meeting, the most common topic brought up was pine straw this month. So, all permits are in for the Chapman Garden to begin. Demo work should start this coming Monday. We're also in the process of getting 2 bids for other capital projects for this year, which are seal coating and restriping the east parking lot and replacing the roofs of the west undercover parking. That's in need. The auditorium and meeting room are both also getting a nice and much needed refresh as well, as you can see in here. the work is beginning. And thank you so much to our Special Projects Committee, as the auditorium refresh would not be possible at this time without them, their work, and the money that was contributed through the Special Projects Fund. Our resident tech cafes take place every other Wednesday. So these are the tech cafes in the meeting room. The next one will take place on Wednesday, September 17th at 1 o'clock. Please keep in mind these cafes don't have a specific topic. They're more of a Q&A session. We are planning to have a forum, a tech forum in the auditorium, likely in October, we're hoping, where there will be specific topics and we'll advertise those topics. But the tech cafes are, you have a question about your phone, your laptop, your iPad, come in there. Our IT team and our resident volunteers are great about helping out, so they've been very effective. That's all I have. Any questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. I have a little more information than normal today. The number of residents in independent living, 493. Last month it was 494. An additional 7 independent living folks are temporarily in Willowbrook. So we have roughly 500 independent living residents here at LVE. About a month ago, the Mid-South region, which consists of 6 properties, 2 in North Carolina, 2 in Alabama, us in Georgia, and in Rock Hill, South Carolina, they have 1. And also the region's office is in Rock Hill, South Carolina. It moved from Charlotte fairly recently into South Carolina. I assume the rents must be a little cheaper. What happened this past month, the presidents of the 6 properties in the Mid-South region met by Zoom. We didn't meet face-to-face, personally, but by Zoom to discuss common interest. Seemed like the most common interest item was the Employee Appreciation Fund. They all had questions. What are you doing? What are we doing? What's different? What can we do better? Why aren't people giving more? All those kind of questions. I found a lot of variety. We have been trying to raise money from January to the end of November here. One of the properties is raising money in November only, and the others generally go from September through November. So we might have to look at that and see if that would help us do anything differently. Instead of asking the residents for money all year long, maybe it would be better, because a lot of folks say, well, you don't need the money till December, I'll wait till November. And I do most of my charitable giving then. So it's different. Well, how much do you ask your folks for? Well, that had a big range too. 250 was about the low per resident. We're currently asking 300. We asked 250 last year, but we ran a little short, so we're asking 300 this year. One property asked for 600 per resident. And they are giving, they happen to give up to $800 per employee. We give up to 600. You don't want to hear about the internal revenue, but the reason for the 600, there's a internal revenue form called 1099 that says if you give an employee or an individual contractor $600 or more in a year, you have to supply them with a 1099. So we have said we don't want to go up against that, so we'll write a check for $599. Well, one of the properties says, I've got 5 tax attorneys that live here, and every one of them says, you don't have to pay that regulation any attention, because the team members are not our employees. They're ACT's employees. And we can give them a gift up to whatever ACT feels is appropriate. You may know, you may be familiar with the IRS regulation that says I could give everybody in this room $18,000 this year and nobody pays any tax on that money.
Thank you, thank you.
You know about that? Oh, you've been doing it already. Okay.
I'm waiting on the 18,000.
Okay. Well, another interesting fact was that some of the properties don't give checks. They give cards, an Amazon card, gift card, or a Walmart gift card. So that's another different change that we can look at. Well, how do you determine how much you give? Well, that varied too. We say we're going to give based on how long you've been here. If you've been here a year or longer, you get the max. And it goes downhill from there. If you haven't been here but for a month, you might get a very small amount. The others say, no, we pay the team members based on how many hours they worked this year. I said, well, you know, it sounds more fair to me in one hand, but on the other hand, the people who work like 20 hours, 15 to 20 hours a week are probably students and could probably use the money more than the other folks. So which way do you go? So this is some things that we need to kind of look at. Several boards like this, 2 of them, for instance, of the 6, have incorporated. They're a 501c7. 501c7, that really generally applies to social clubs. And one of the presidents was a lawyer, and she said, no need to do that. I don't know why in the world they did it. You know, it's wasted effort. And we even found one Tryon Estates property that has its own columbarium. And the columbarium is not Axe. It's owned by the residents and maintained by the residents. Axe didn't want any part of, taking care of that. None of the communities have any insurance for their board of directors, and none of them retain a lawyer for any legal actions. So I doubt if we would ever be sued for any reason, but you never know. And another one is, they said, we got our bylaws committee to look at the bylaws and to change it so that this committee, the board, can approve changes. It doesn't require the vote of all the residents. So that was another big change that came about. And those are the main items. We expect to meet maybe quarterly to explore items of interest. Any questions on any of this?
Do you intend to take any action on any of these or discuss it, or is this just the thought?
We're letting the committees know about some of these items.
Good.
One other question came up was, why are residents not giving? How many of your residents give? Well, we're in the 72, 73%. Others said, well, we're at 70, but one claimed to be at 90%. 90%. I don't know how they did it, but maybe I'll explore that a little bit more, because historically, we have been in the 70 area, even though Carolyn Vanderpool told me that back when she was president, back many years ago, when this was an early property, usually 90% of the folks were giving at that time.
Residents of Willowbrook and OBT sent the same information.
Yes. They're all sent the same information, and we even went one step further the last year and this year. We found out who was responsible for handling their finances, and we mailed a letter to them requesting. And
knowing Caroline, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I have, and if there are no questions. Okey-doke. It's time for committee reports. Culinary, Judy Lee. They don't have a report. They didn't meet this.
Good morning. This is from our meeting of September 3rd. We discussed something that I think says a lot about ACTS and LVE. 15 employees will be recognized at the Service Awards dinner on September 24th. These eligible employees are recognized for their 5-year increments in honor of their service and dedication, and I think that's admirable that we have employees that come to work here and want to stay working here. We're also reducing the amount of paper used to print the weekly menus, and if you find that you don't have a menu and you don't want to look it up on K4 or you can't look it up, ask either a culinary supervisor or Julia at the front desk and they'll get you a copy. We are using K4 to a larger extent now for communication with residents. We have our food delivery policy and procedure posted on K4, and you'll find the culinary department's organizational chart there as well. Our first food forum last month was a great success. The next food forum we hope you'll attend is on September 19th at 3:30 here in the auditorium. Chad's going to bring someone from the back of the house, the cooks, and from the front of the house to the meeting, and there will be a question and answer session, and we'd be glad to have you attend and bring your questions. Chad also expressed his appreciation for the amount of feedback. It was huge that we've received concerning the issues in Mountain View. He's working with Chad and Anna and ACTS Corporate. They're putting together an action plan to increase satisfaction, and we anticipate a decision in October. Eddie Venegas, who is our new assistant restaurant manager, expressed his appreciation for all the resident support as he learns the responsibilities of his new role. He reported that culinary has hired 4 new servers, which should help alleviate the Mountain View reservation wait times that we're now experiencing. His plans are to meet regularly with new hires, addressing server adequate, as well as health department requirements for hairnets for people with long hair and or beards. Concerning the decision on Mountain View, Scott emphasized that one of the most important things as we reach a decision is sustainability. We don't want to make a decision that later we have to change. So I think that's real important. And he also reported that the culinary budget meetings have begun. Anna summarized the areas for culinary improvement based on the feedback from the residents, and she identified the top 5 goals as staff training and supervision, food quality and freshness, menu variety and healthy options, service standards and consistency, and resident engagement and communication. So those are goals we'll be working toward in culinary. Any questions for me? No? Well, our next meeting is October 1st, and we'd love to have you attend. Thank you.
Okay, housekeeping. Pam. You got back for the meeting? Good.
Okay, our last meeting was Tuesday, August 26th. And we meet, by the way, just to reiterate, on the last Tuesday of every month. Sometimes that's the 5th Tuesday, and that gets confused sometimes on the life engagement calendar. So, not to be pointed. Okay, and again, it was you know, not terribly eventful. We're really blessed with a wonderful staff. And I think you've already heard in the link that the housekeeping department is taking on the additional duty of cleaning with long Swiffer things, the covered parking areas, the spider webs. You know, I guess I don't look up because I haven't seen any, but anyway, they will be out there doing that. And then you all read that Aaron Bundy is now doing assignment of the parking spaces. Also, just in case everybody doesn't know, Manuel and Lupe do random cleaning checks after they have been to an apartment or a cottage to do the bi-weekly cleaning as a part of the training. You also may have seen in the link that there will be some shifting of duties as Joyce, who's the housekeeper in East, is changing to part-time. So there'll be some movement going on. We also noted that the housekeeping staff frequently, or Lupe and Manuel, receive comments that it's hard to read the names of the housekeepers. And I would kind of add to that I wish employee name tags were as big as ours. But Lupe said, you know, it's sometimes if you have part-time staff and people coming and going, and younger people, I guess, they just don't remember to put on the name tags. But a nice big name tag on every employee would be wonderful, I think. So that's it for me. Our next meeting is September 30th at 1:30 in the meeting room. Yeah.
Is the exterior of a cottage, the doors have cobwebs, but it's outside? Is that a fee for service or something you can choose to have done vis-a-vis something else?
Good question. I don't know. Either of you guys know?
Shedding, it's okay.
So you're asking if you can switch out your annual cleaning for a different?
No,
Not annual,
no, just,
weekly,
Microphone.
bi-weekly.
well,
Bi-weekly cleaning?
for instance, we have that going on at the entrances to our buildings, and that is covered by the housekeeping department because housekeeping maintains the common areas. But this would, yeah, cottage, yeah.
We can look into it, 'cause we can look into it. I'll check with Shonda and see if that's something we can do.
Okay, thank you, good question.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Front of the back.
As long as we're talking about cobwebs. I live on the 6th floor at West, and, wait a minute. All right, I usually have a very loud teacher voice, but I guess I turned it off. I live on the 6th floor in West, and since we're talking about cobwebs, my entire outside of my balcony on all 3 sides is surrounded and is increasing in the number of cobwebs. Do they ever get cleaned?
Are you talking about the screen?
Outside, on the,
Yeah.
they're attached to the screens on the outside, on the wall, yeah.
Not
There's
by
a lot of 'em.
housekeeping. I mean, in your annual cleaning,
No, outside, this is outside.
I spray a little stuff to keep, I don't know. Outside of the building?
Tough one.
Tough one.
We'll look into it further.
Kick it down the road.
6th floor, every apartment on the 6th floor, east or west, has the same problem with dirt under the soffit under the roof. And obviously, you can't put a ladder up there, but that's something that needs to be addressed because it looks nasty for all of us.
Okay.
next time.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Before we get broken up, those committees that are reporting, you need to update your photos, if you don't mind. We've had some shift change, so next time you have your meeting, do a selfie and email it to me, and I'll send it to John Ross. Thank you.
Okay. Landscaping, Carol Ann?
We met September 3rd, and one of our primary issues were work orders. They seem to have been going into cyberspace because people would say, I've submitted 4 work orders. Since the beginning of September, we are trying to get all work orders on K4. You go on K4 and search work order. Now, sometimes something comes up like built-in work orders, and you have to hit more. You have to fill it out, but it has already filled out your name, your apartment number, and everything. And this will also relieve Julia of some of her duties, and it's gonna work eventually. Yesterday I hit fill out and it said in red, there's no choice. But then you hit more and it came up. Well, actually, I ended up asking Anna. But it is going to be better, I feel like, and people won't have to continue to submit the same work order. And it all goes under maintenance. And then when it asks you what kind, you can say landscape and describe it. The memory garden, Stephen is continuing to work on the path, and a new bench is supposed to have been installed. It was not there yesterday, but I'm confident it will be there soon. We have had, with the blessing of rain, we've also had a lot of erosion on campus. Some of the areas are going to have pavers put around the area, and we are continuing to work on those areas. I noticed that the area outside the atrium had already had the pavers, and it looks nice. Irrigation is a perennial topic. It basically is working well, except for East Cottages. There's supposed to be an audit this month, and we hope that all the bugs will be worked out. Scott addressed the chapel garden, and we're looking forward to that. The campus has never looked better in the beginning of September. The grass is green, and it really looks nice. And the pine straw dresses it up. It's like jewelry on a woman. It really looks nice, even though I've had some comments too that we didn't really need the pine straw, but I'm enjoying it. Any questions?
Did you say the irrigation was working well?
I said generally it was, except in the east cottages.
Well, mine's working well at the cottage. It doesn't come on.
And where are you, in the east cottage?
No, in the west, 3742.
Have you emailed Stephen?
No.
Well, please do, with the exact location.
I have brought it up 2 or 3 times. One, there's no response, so.
Well, try putting in a work order on K4. Any other questions?
I would like to make one comment that was new to me. I've been putting work orders in on my laptop, my PC. And I told Stephen, I said, I get a spot up here to click on landscape. He says, I don't get that on mine. I says, what are you talking about? He says, well, I use my iPhone. And I was amazed. I looked at his iPhone when he goes in there and put in a maintenance order, work order, and it's different from mine on my PC. So you might run into that situation and have to go a little bit further. I can't, I've clicked on landscape and they go off into cyberspace somewhere. Nobody ever gets them. But if I click on maintenance and then fill it in and say it's for landscaping, that does become part of the work order.
There is no option on the phone for landscape.
Right,
It just,
right.
you just click on maintenance. And
Your phone will also say, your phone will also say general. I just put one in,
Yeah, yeah.
so you can do it under that.
we hope we are going to get the bugs worked out soon.
Thank you, Carol Ann. Legislative issues, Gary Riley.
If you noticed, I didn't have my name badge on. I'm saving that. I'm expecting to live a long time, and I don't want to have an extra expense for axe, so I'm saving that. Anyway, Legislative Committee met on August 25th, and our featured guest was Beth Garman, and she is head of the Hall County Planning Committee, the director of the committee. Ms. Garman spoke about the processes they go through at the planning committee, including maintenance of the county's comprehensive plan and the upkeep of the limited development code, which includes such things as zoning ordinances, subdivision regulations, and stormwater regulations. The planning committee, the county planning committee, submits a plan every 5 years, and that's their 5-year comprehensive plan. And it provides a 20-year overview of what they believe is required in the county. We also discussed most rezoning in our area, and Ms. Garman had little or no additional information on the rezoning laws or programs. We asked about the commercial property across the street at Publix, if they had any idea of what was additionally going to be put on the land, and she had no comment and no additional information. Also at the meeting from the county, 2 of our county, all county administrators, John Gentry and Casey Ramsey were there, and they talked extensively about Splash 9, which this will be the 6th year for the current SPLOSH program. And that's just so whether you know or not, that's a 3% tax that is used primarily in projects. It amounts to about $440,000 a year in additional tax that they use in the county. And this year, in the August election, it is once again up for either acceptance or rejection. Just so you know, that program has been going for about 15 years. So it's not an additional tax, it's just a continuation of the 3% SPLOSH tax. As most of you probably know, this fall in November, there's very little on the ballot, but SPLOSH is on the ballot, so if you like it, you should get out and vote for it. If you don't like it, you should get out and vote for it. But other than that, you won't have a lot of time in the voting booth. We don't have any meeting planned for September. We're not a committee that meets necessarily every month. But our next meeting is October 27th. And one thing you will be hearing about from that meeting, continuing on until November, is SPLOSH number 9, which is coming up. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to attend the meeting. We love to have guests, and we frequently have speakers, which are usually in the link for LVE. So take a note of them, come and listen to them. I might mention that Ms. Garman was extremely well prepared and gave an excellent presentation on the entire planning process for the county. And it may sound kind of boring, but it's actually very interesting. Anyway, any questions?
Sir, does anyone have a report on the groundbreaking of the new hospice center? I didn't go to that
It was actually
groundbreaking.
on the news yesterday, and they're talking about the groundbreaking being in, it's either October or November, and the building being completed by the end of next year. That was on W. Dunn.
I think there was a groundbreaking Tuesday, Linda?
Tuesday, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
several people were at the Tuesday groundbreaking, but I think they have another ceremony in November or so where they're gonna lay the first of the stones of the new building. Looks like an interesting project.
There's a big newspaper article in the Times for today on that. It's pretty much in depth about what's gonna be there. You see them clearing all the land over here. Well, it's a big, I think it's like 40 beds for men and 20 beds for women. So it's a pretty good size building.
It also was apparently heavily funded by a couple
Yes.
from the area, and I believe they're gonna name it for that couple. It'll be their project.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Good. Thank you. Please come and join us at the legislative meeting.
Thank you, Gary. Karen Harden, Life Engagement.
Hello, everyone. I think everyone gets, I'm trying to send this to everybody, and I appreciate it for the floor captains who've sent it to their floors, too. I think that's a good way to get the information out to people. Well, some floor captains have sent it. Our activities coming up, the Life Engagement Committee that I'm talking about. And anyway, so you see Vicki and Sue have planned a lot of things going into June even. If y'all have any suggestions for anything, let us know. And you saw that we changed several things like the volunteer fair and bazaar. I think Anna and you're helping with Vicky and Sue to do the bazaar. I don't think anybody stepped up to do that. And that's, I think, about it. So does anybody have any questions? And I'm sorry, Pam, about the calendar. She didn't get us to check them this time. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Maintenance and safety, Herb Paul.
The Maintenance and Safety Committee meets the first Thursday of each month, so we met on the 4th. A couple of the items I'd like to discuss, carpeting in Willowbrook has been on the agenda for a long time. It is thought that it will be accomplished in the 4th quarter. So October, November, December, we should be working on that carpeting. Also, the wood flooring will be replaced. So both of those will take place in the 4th quarter. I'd like to bring up this item. I've brought it up several times in previous meetings, but the fire alarm. I would just hope that the fire alarm goes off, that our people do what they're supposed to do. Head to the stairwell. If you're mobility impaired, just get to the stairwell, and then the fire department will help you get down and out of the building. But we have had several meetings. They have updated the fire drill paperwork, and the fire drill, if it takes place, the important thing is to get out of the apartment. If you're in the apartment, hopefully fire department will come by and find you and get you out. However, the more they have to do that, the less opportunities there'll be. So please, get to the stairwell, and like I say, if you need help, you'll get help. There should be a fire drill take place in the next several weeks. The fire department and our local people have been working on this, and it should take place in the next few weeks. Another item I'd like to bring up is that, and it's already been discussed a little bit, that they're going to resurface the parking in East. The reason I'd like to bring it up is, remember, if you've got a car and you're in East, you'll need to move that car so that they can get in there and clean up the area and then resurface it. If your car is there, then unfortunately you're not going to be able to get that resurfaced. So please, once the schedule is set up, please make sure that you move your car out of the way so that the resurfacing can take place. Remember one thing, if it's not completely resurfaced, then there's going to be cracks that will be exposed before we even get started. So please, move your car, and if you can't do that, if you need help, ask somebody for help to get it moved out of the way.
Where do you suggest we move it?
It can be on that driveway into the parking area.
we will be communicating options on where
Yeah.
to move it and when to move them.
Say again?
At least 2 weeks' notice will be given. And then, as we get closer to it, reminders as well, because we occasionally forget stuff. Great point.
Microphone.
The question was related to how much notice will be given, and if you're out of town for the whole month of October or something, what do we do? Well, Anna is saying leave your keys, but let us know if you're going to be leaving in October.
Yeah, the important thing is to get it out of the way. That's the important thing. And if you need help, just ask. Okay, anything else? Our next meeting will be the first Thursday of October. If you'd like to, come and join us. Are there any other questions?
This one has been, there's a street light over by OBT and the new East Cottages that's had a yellow ribbon on it for 3 or 4 years. It is still burned out.
We'll look into that. There's multiple ones with yellow ribbons that need to be addressed.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you.
Asden. Memorial.
Good morning. I was going to be very anxious to announce this. I'm not sure if it's happened, but we have several benches that have been placed from orders that have been several months in the waiting period. A 6-foot bench has a plaque on it that Jack Deegan's made for his wife, and that's in the Bistro Garden. A 6-foot bench in the Train Garden is placed for Charlie Nichols. A 4-foot bench outside of Sally Anderson's apartment has been placed for Larry, I hope. And a 4-foot bench in the Memory Lane Garden for the founders of the garden. And that happened the founding of the garden, the Memory Lane Garden, was in 2006. So these members of the committee, there were 9 members and a chairman, and so the Memorial Committee is putting a bench there with the names of those people on it. So you might be interested in seeing that when you're out in that area. So have they been placed or not?
Steven said, confirmed they will be in place today.
Okay, okay. So enjoy. The Grove of Remembrance, we've had some orders for leaves recently. One for Honey Lou Funkhauser, one for Joe Alice Halsell, and one for Vida Anderson. And the one for Vida Anderson is being placed there by the Memorial Committee because she was on our committee for several years. 3 future benches are in the process of being ordered. I think we have orders for 5 new 4-foot benches, hopefully. But the orders are, one is for Vida Anderson, and that will be placed outside of her apartment what is his name, like Anderson?
Rich.
Yeah, Rich and his family, I'm sorry. The other one is going to be in the Memory Lane Garden, and that will be for I guess the one for Vida will be in the Memory Lane Garden, and the one for Joe Alice Halsell, given by her sons, will be right below her apartment. So there'll be 2 in that area that will be coming soon. And then one is being ordered for Chip McVeigh to put in the dog park, and that will be in memory of all the dogs we've loved. So that's going to be very special. Any questions? Thanks.
Thank you,
Oh,
Ashton.
I had one more thing.
Oh.
If you have any questions about any of the memorials that we offer here at Lanier Village, there are folders in all the common areas or community rooms and the mail rooms. So feel free to pick up one and look at it.
Justine, are you giving a report, or is Madam Secretary?
I'm sorry.
You have Justine's report on the health services?
Yes, it'll be in the minutes. There's 40 in Willowbrook. And, Justine sent her report, and it looks like 40 in WBT and OBT and WBC as far as that.
Okay. Campus improvement. Kitty Marlowe, I see, is out there.
Morning. I hope you've noticed that fall decor is beginning to come out everywhere. I think you'll also recognize that if you change one thing in a room, then everything else needs to be changed. So that's what we're running into with the renovation of the clubhouse this past year, and we are beginning to get some new things out. We will be spending special projects money to do that. And so bear with us, please, as we begin to get that accomplished. Now, I want you to all look around and notice the new paint in the auditorium. Instead of being 3 colors, it's all 1 color, and it is going to look fabulous as we move through our renovation. So next, we have the blue carpet strips coming in. The stage curtain is arriving today. And the 25th of September is when the new window treatments will come in. So that will complete what we're doing in here. We're just hugely thankful that this dream is coming to fruition. The chairs outside of the small elevator lobby are at Millie's now, and they will be returned, I suspect, mid next week. They are also working on the cushions that go around on the benches in the clubhouse and outside of the Heritage Room. So we are soon to really be completing everything that we have tried to do. I believe that's it for now. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Kitty. Employee Appreciation Fund, Sam Watt.
Good news and bad news. The good news is we've got $76,000 in the account. The bad news is we need that much more to reach our goal. And we hope we'll be able to do it. It's coming in pretty slow right now. Some history on this. Last year we had 630 residents, 70 apartments gave 0, none, absolutely nothing. And that's what we need to try to improve on. Everybody should, that is a resident here to me, we go all year without a tip, don't have to tip anybody. And one time out of the year, we try to give the employee a gift. And that's what this comes down to. Christmas, they look forward to this, and we want to keep the employees happy, right?
Yes.
They take care of us. They do a great job of looking after us and being kind to us and calling us by our names and all the above. They do a really good job, and so I think they should be rewarded. That's what this fund is all about. Let's see what else I can tell. Oh, I talked to Marie this morning, and she told me that she didn't know whether I should say this or not, but our goal is to give $300 a person. As Chair's missions, they have different communities have different goals on that. But I would say, if you can't give $300, if you don't want to give that much, give something to the fund so we can make our goal. So far this year, we have received a $10 check, and we have received a $2,000 check. So it's all, anything between there would help. And you know, I think this is very important for our community, very important for our employees. Any questions? Okay.
It might be a good idea for, and I'm sure we do this, hall reps to put something out periodically about this. Sometimes when it comes from a more personal thing than the link, people might be more responsive.
Well, that concludes the committee reports and all the business that we have scheduled. Are there any questions or comments from anybody they'd like to make?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I have a question for Bylaws Committee.
Okay.
Do they anticipate a campus-wide vote on bylaws changes in January?
Would Bylaws Chair like to comment? Get a microphone, please.
The bylaws, bylaws call for the residents to approve the bylaws at the January meeting, and that is our plan right now. We will address the board next month and ask the board to approve the bylaws, and then we will talk to them about the association meeting.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Well, is there a move to adjourn? Okay. All those who